practice. It's all about practice. Practice makes perfect, as they say. And you gotta be willing to put in the time. Gotta be willing to put in the time. Action changes things. Action changes things. It's impossible for something not to change and generally change for the better if there's not action. So I used to want to build a fan base, right? When I was performing, singing a lot more actively. I wanted to also work on my stage presence. So what I would do is I would go to open mics after my 9 to 5 job. And this open mic started at like 7 and it went on to like midnight, sometimes even 1 in the morning. And they had a sign-up sheet. And there was no particular order to the sign-up sheet. So even if I got there at 7 and signed up at 7:30, I might not necessarily be called until 10 p.m. or midnight. But I would stay there. I would stay there until they called me and even after. Sometimes I didn't get called up till like 11, midnight. That's after I got up at like 7 in the morning to get ready for my day job. But I have a little popcorn kernel stuck in my throat. But the point is, I stayed. Even when I was tired, I stayed because I had a goal in mind. Now, I'm not saying to overexert yourself and not to listen to your body when you feel exhausted. But for us to get to where we really want to get to, it means that we're going to have to push hard. We're going to have to sometimes have some late nights, some really early mornings, right? And we're going to need to be strategic. But things become a lot easier when we know why we're doing what we're doing. So I knew that I wanted to start to build a fan base. People weren't going to know that I knew how to sing unless I put myself out there. I wasn't going to be able to see how people were receiving me, if they were receptive, unless I put myself out there. I wasn't going to be able to connect with the audience unless I was in front of that audience. So know why you're doing what you're doing is the first thing, and then start to implement, start to go for it, but be willing to go above and beyond, because most people aren't willing to do that, and that's how you separate yourself. Go above and beyond.